What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel, and today we're here for a new Madden 22 realistic rebuild, today with the Vegas Raiders. We'll be taking over week 13 of the regular season in 2021, and then going this year, plus 4 more, 5 total, to try and win a Super Bowl. They're still in contention right now. It's a uber competitive AFC West, only a game behind the Kansas City Chiefs for first place. And I wanted to do the Vegas Raiders for quite some time, just to get the dust to settle a little bit from the John Gruden firing, which was, you know, is what it is. And you had obviously the terrible story with Henry Ruggs and the woman that he, man, that was brutal. What a waste of talent. But ultimately, I hope, for that kind of mistake, not to impose my thoughts and opinions on a legal matter, but if he got like the harshest punishment possible, I wouldn't be losing any sleep over it. So all that now combined to the week 13, man, like the Raiders are hanging in there. They're a super strong squad. For the sake of this rebuild going forward, I hired a man that I think I would most like to see in Vegas right now, and that's Doug Pederson. So I've decided to hire Doug Pederson. This is going to be Doug Pederson's redemption tour after getting fired and canned by the Philadelphia Eagles. And we're going to try and shape this Vegas team into a Super Bowl contender over the next 5 years. I think, honestly, this year, the West is very competitive. I don't know really how the Raiders play in the sim, but I think we have a lot of talent here. I think Mike Mayock has kind of gone under the gun here for... and then Arnett, and David Arnett, another just botch for It's just been not a great time. And the offseason wasn't even good. They lost Trent Brown. They traded away Rodney Hudson. The Raiders have no right to be 6-5, is I guess kind of what we're getting at here. So before we prove the roster, guys, I love setting like goals because anytime I set a like goal, you guys absolutely crush it. So for today's video, I would love to hit 1,000 likes. I would very much appreciate that. And without further ado, let's take a look here at this roster. What are we working with? We did the Raiders main channel franchise, I think it was in Madden 19, and the same questions remain. Whether or not Derek Carr is a franchise quarterback or not. Statistically this year, he's been good, but you look at, the games, yards, he's been up there, and but he's gone overtime how many times? He said, his attempts are way more than other people. But I like Derek Carr. I remember 7 years ago when Derek Carr was coming out of college, I was like, he might be the sleeper quarterback of this year's draft class. You watch anything of him at Fresno State throwing to Davante Adams, he was very good. His tape was very good. He tested well at the combine. I like Derek Carr overall, but it's still one of those things where it's is he going to be the guy that takes the Raiders to the playoffs? Is he going to be the guy that can win a Super Bowl for the Raiders? I don't really think he is. But, I don't know. We'll give him a shot until we have an opportunity to improve the quarterback spot, I guess. They got Mariota there, who I think is one of the more intriguing backups. I still think there's a chance. There's a team out there with maybe not a Derek Carr in place. You can throw Mariota into a QB competition. I want to see Mariota have another chance of starting in the NFL. I don't know why. I just feel if he goes to, here's an example. If the Panthers didn't, Cam Newton, obviously there's a nostalgia trip there, but if I was the Carolina Panthers, and this Darnold thing happened, and there was a way that I could have traded for Marcus Mariota with Joe Brady there, one of the top QB gurus, or Mariota went to the Rams and got to work with McVay or anything. I want to see that. But for this rebuild, it's very much going to be Derek Carr until it's not Derek Carr. Running back room, you have Josh Jacobs, who's really good, 87 star. We got a running back for the future there. Hopefully, we can get a dev trait increase. But outside of a couple injury concerns with Josh Jacobs, just modern day power back. Gotta love him. Great story. We have Kenyon Drake here, who just for the fact that in a rebuild, in a Madden rebuild, you never want an expensive backup running back because it feels like any RB2. We could get probably the same production of Kenyon Drake that we would out of Peyton Barber. So it's going to be nice when we can get off of this Kenyon Drake contract. But he's a solid player. You have Ingold at fullback. He's hurt right now, but one of the better young fullbacks in the NFL, and he has that star depth. So going forward, he should be a key piece of our offense. Look at the wide receiver room. Well, we're good at slot. Hunter Renfrow is a sensational slot wide receiver. I think there could be an argument to be made that with Michael Thomas, Lance, he's not really in a slot. There's an argument to make he's top 5. He's a top 5 slot wide receiver in the NFL right now. And 80 star dev, only 25, so he's going to be a key piece going forward. I like Bryan Edwards, 77, only normal dev, but there's upside there as well. That's a solid wide receiver 3. We got a Renfrow in the slot, Bryan Edwards just developing, and then we still need that, the X. And when we trying our ass off maybe to get Davante Adams, I don't know what our salary cap's looking like. But that is going to be, a dream wide receiver core. And we have 2 or 3 pieces. You got Deshaun Jackson for the deep threat. I'm absolutely pumped with what he did on Thanksgiving. Big fan, one of my favorite wide receivers ever. Less, some of the things he's done off the field. But on field, big Deshaun Jackson fan, so it's exciting. It's nice to see him still doing the damn thing. You had Zay Jones, the Senior Bowl MVP 4 years ago. He's still doing the damn thing, but ultimately we need one more wide receiver here. Tight end, you have one of the best tight ends, one of the best stories in the NFL in Darren Waller, 92 X Factor. How does he not have a face scan yet? All right, and you got Moreau. Actually, I think he's solid as well. I think that Moreau, right now, I'm a Darren Waller fantasy owner, and I think he's going to miss some time, like a week or two. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if Moreau, has good games. He's not a Darren Waller type. He's more of a traditional tight end. But I think he's a really solid tight end. He was, 2 years ago coming out of LSU, the sleeper tight end of the draft. And I think the ceiling is high there. So I really actually do like our 2 tight ends. Offensive line, you got Colton Miller's developed into a fine left tackle. Didn't look like immediately, a couple, rough rookie season, sophomore season when it was starting to show some flashes. But he looks like a bona fide left tackle, franchise tackle. At guard, you have Incognito, who's out with an injury, so you're kind of relying on John Simpson, who's, average. Center, you have Nick Martin, average. Right guard, you have Denzel Good, who's out with injury. You have Alex Leatherwood, the guard from Alabama, first-round pick. Let's be honest. The Raiders have not hit on their first-round picks lately. I think Leatherwood's solid. We got a right guard for the rebuild, but, there's probably better players we could have had. And ultimately, you look at Brandon Parker, right tackle. We need a right tackle. We need a center. And we need a left guard. Those are actually going to be kind of important. We're going to prioritize even potentially drafting offensive linemen in this rebuild because we have to get that right quickly. Max Crosby has been insane as an edge rusher. 87 star, 24 years old, out of Eastern Michigan. There is a franchise player right there, franchise pass rusher. Ngakoue seems rejuvenated here with the Raiders. He's kind of bounced around from a couple teams since the Jags. He looks good. I think Yannick Ngakoue and Max Crosby can absolutely be the 2 edges that we have for the full 5 years of this rebuild. Just grow and develop. Hopefully they go up dev trade. You have Pharrell there. Carl Nassib, solid rotational guy. I think I always do this, and I think I'm going to do it again. I always just move Cleveland Pharrell into D tackle. He's bulky, he's a gigantic. I feel like that's the only way he's getting on the field right now, and there's some upside there because D tackle's not a strength of this Raider defense. You have Hankins, who's a veteran, but Pharrell, 75. You have Solomon Thomas, who actually feel like he's been kind of solid. I've seen 3 Raider games. Seems like he's making plays. Raider fans, has Solomon Thomas been dope? Because if not, we can rock with that. Thomas and Farrell going down long-term, potentially. I think they're both normal dev, but that's fine. I think those are 2 young D tackles. Obviously, you're not going to get, run stuffer. That's what Hankins fills in at 340, but we can try it. Well, what do we got to lose at that D tackle spot? Linebacking core, you got the veteran KJ Wright, solid. Linebacking, you got Kwiatkowski, Denzel Perryman has been one of the better free agency signings. And then right side linebacker, you have Corey Littleton. I'm probably, given the state of my defense, I'll probably move either Kwiatkowski or Perryman over to KJ Wright spot just to maximize. There's a chance one of them goes up dev trait, and then we can have a short-term answer at that linebacker spot for the time being until we can draft one. As cornerback, you have Hayward and Hobbs, who have been PFF darlings this year. Hayward for the short-term Band-Aid type guy, he's 31. Long-term, maybe not there. Mullen, when he gets back from injury, he's only 23, 82 star dev, so there's a plug-and-play corner for the entirety of this rebuild. And I think Hobbs, obviously, he's been impressive. As I've watched games, obviously Max Crosby has been crushing for the defense, but this Hobbs guy's been standing out. And coming into the draft process, he had a good razz, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, that's all I kind of knew about him. I was all right, he's a great athlete. And he got put into a great situation there in Raiders, and he's been pretty damn good as a rookie. So we'll get him some reps. I like Amik Robertson, even though he hasn't a whole lot of opportunities to make plays. Free safety, you have Morig, 22.75 with a dev trait. Excellent for a rookie going forward. Plug and play for the entirety. And Abrams kind of come on. He's kind of been polarizing. But I think ultimately he is a guy at strong safety that we can rely on. And hopefully with that normal dev trait, we'll have more than one opportunity to potentially raise that to at least a star and make him a long-term fixture for our defense. Carlson, solid kicker. You have AJ Cole, really good punter, has that dev trait. So special teams, it's just a Raiders sink. Shout out to Al Davis having really good special team players in Madden, and we have that here. So there's a mix of veterans that we're going to have to replace. The offensive line needs a little bit of retooling, but I think ultimately this is a very interesting rebuild, and we'll see how now, with Doug Pederson at the helm, if we can bring the Raiders a Super Bowl. And because we're starting week 13, let's take a look at the contracts. We got 22 players. Which ones of these guys do we want to have here long term? Let's kind of go way down to the bottom, work our way up. Jesus. Okay, there's not a whole lot here that screams re-sign me, C4. Solomon Thomas, work in progress. I'll be a guy that, like, you know, he could sneakily get like a dev trait come this offseason. So we'll be interested. Ingold at fullback, sure. I mean, we have a lot of money. So let's just lock down a fullback for the remainder of the rebuild. It's just because certain schemes, they excel with a fullback. I remember, like, obviously different games, but let's be honest, it's probably copy and paste. It was like Madden 20. I did a 49ers rebuild where I moved on from Juszczyk because he was just too expensive, and our team couldn't win a game. Couldn't explain it. Then I did the 49ers the second time around, kept Juszczyk, and we were winning games left, right, and center. So ever since then, the tinfoil hat's been on that certain playbooks need a center to be good, and I feel like maybe that's the case here. So let's get Daniel Carson. I think he's absolutely a kicker we can rely on for the entirety of this rebuild, and we will come back for Ingold, give him a little bit more money, but come on, you're a fullback. Let's not try to bend me over here. We have A.J. Cole at punter. Another situation, let's just get this guy locked and loaded for the remainder of the rebuild. Set and forget with the special teams. We have Incognito. I mean, again, because our offensive line's where it's at, if we can just get him on a one-year Band-Aid type deal, if he comes back for another season, even if he regresses to like an 84, 85, still good for 1 year. That's one less spot we have to address immediately. Same here goes to Casey Hayward. That's an insane amount of money. But again, it's just kicking that can down the road. They retire, we get that money back, and if not, it's just one less position we don't have to worry about come next year's free agency period, where arguably if Hayward, we let him walk to free agency, Incognito, we let him walk to free agency, they're probably going to be the top free agents at their respective positions. So Casey Hayward will come back, Incognito will come back to the table, and Alec Ingold. And for Solomon Thomas, we'll take a little bit of a wait and see. Looks like the move to D-tackle already paying off. One game. We simmed one game, and Cleo Farrell's like, hey, I think I might be able to make this move to D-tackle. I'll put on some weight in the offseason. But let's see here against Kansas City. Look at a bounce back. Week 14. If we can get Farrell up to a star dev, start paying dividends, we win! We beat the Chiefs 27-24. 24 points, that's a lot. I don't know if we got the dev. We did! The dev for Farrell hits. Let's freaking go. Star dev plus 5,000 XP. That's exactly the kind of like small wins that you want to see in a rebuild, year one in particular, because there's a guy now that we can go and run with him. We have Hayward looking for more of a bonus. I'll just pay a lot. It's only 1 year, and again, I don't think we're going to be spending our salary cap too much. We want to save some money just in case Davante Adams is there. But other than that, I don't really see any big-time signings that we have to rush to make. So let's lock in Incognito and Hayward, and we already got the fullback, so we're Gucci there. So at the end of year one, we did find a way to make the playoffs. 10-7, second place in the AFC West. I think we're the 6th seed, which we are, and we're taking on the Tennessee Titans. I mean, I think, again, all the things the Raiders have gone through this year, if they can find a way to make the playoffs, it's going to be one of the stories of the year. Week 18, absolute shootout against the Chargers, 49-35. I don't know. I think we would have made the playoffs win or lose. Was it old Derek Carr had a big game? Oh, it was Josh Jacobs. Look at that. 249 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns for the beastly running back out of Alabama. Love seeing that. Love seeing those types of numbers. Before we even look here, how the hell did we get to where we are at? Look at the league right now. Nothing, terrifying. Like pretty normal sim numbers, I think, across the board. I guess Robert Quinn leading sacks, kind of weird. But for our own team, what are we dealing with here? So Derek Carr was 3rd in passing yards, 10th in touchdowns. So I don't think he's going to get a dev trait in that. But averaging 300 yards passing a game is pretty good. 5,100 passing yards. Derek Carr, good God. Running the ball, we had 1,100 yards, 17 touchdowns for Josh Jacobs. So that means he would have just went over 1,000 in that final game. That's a huge year. We had 1,006 for Renfro, 1,006 for Darren Waller, 9 and 5 for Brian Edwards, 590 and 3 for Deshaun Jackson. All solid numbers, especially if like these three, until we get that wide receiver one, they can keep this kind of production up. Absolutely, let's keep going. Defensively, Jonathan Abram led the team, 130 tackles on the season. We had 12.5 sacks in Ngakoue, 7.5 Max Crosby, 7 from Solomon Thomas. Farrell, who went up dev trade, only has a sack and a half, so it's a little less than ideal. It makes us question, should we re-sign Solomon Thomas? Might play himself into a contract here before too late. Interception is garbage. We're more of a lockdown secondary. It's the Nnamdi Asomugha effect. Like Hayward, PFF darling. Nate Oz, PFF darling. Doesn't mean, they're good, but they're not getting picks. It is what it is. Picks don't equate to great defensive play, even though it helps. With the number 4 offense in the NFL, 23rd defense, so that's a little shaky. MVP of the league went to Aaron Rodgers. Looking in the AFC, see if we have any Raider award winners. I don't think we're gonna have much, if any chance, at any position, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And Daniel Carson was the runner-up for Kicker of the Year. So without further ado, man, we got this one playoff game. It's year one. Expectations are low, but it'll be pretty nice if we can find a way to get a couple victories here. So first up, 10-7 Titans. Injuries are on. These are real rosters. This is not a Titans with Derrick Henry. So let's... What? He is back? No way. Let me confirm this. Is that just oh, shit. Okay. I don't know if he's playing this game. Hopefully he's not. The battle of the Alabama running backs. Derrick Henry versus Josh Jacobs. Oh, yeah, baby. 35-17. The Raiders knock... I mean, I don't know if they activated him or not. I hope they did. I hope they had him. Was not a great passing game, and it must have been Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs did the damn thing. 3 touchdowns, Kenyon Drake. 2 for Josh Jacobs. They did not have Derrick Henry. Let's go. Darren Waller, 7 catches, 85 yards. Beautiful. Defensively, 9 tackles and a pick. Nick Kwiatkowski, sack for Farrell, and Ngakoue, Solomon Thomas as the Raiders somehow, someway are moving on in the playoffs here in year one. Must be Doug Pederson. All right, we got the Ravens, Lamar Jackson. It's a tough assignment, but we stopped our running team last week, minus their superstar, and this week, fall just a little short, 28-14. Wasn't that close, wasn't particularly close. I don't think anyone's stopping the Chiefs this year, unfortunately. Looking at this game, Lamar Jackson, I mean, average QB play between both quarterbacks, running the ball. Lamar, did the damn thing. We wouldn't let us. I mean, I would not have projected Josh Jacobs to have less rushing yards than Latavius Murray, but here we are. Rashad Bateman and Sammy Watkins both going over 100 yards, so our secondary did not do the best of jobs. Sack for Bowser and a pick for him, a pick for Desmond Trufant. But that's fine. Getting this kind of momentum, these kind of wins year one for the Raiders is fine. We can absolutely build off of this. Let's get into the offseason, and hopefully we get that special wide receiver. You know who I'm talking about. Follow from the year one Super Bowl. What? Well, it's different. Giants beat the Chiefs 24-20. Logan Rise MVP. What? Okay. More so to... Hey, if we're living in World Fantasy, I want 5 dev trade increases here, okay? Let's take a look as we clear out the lockers. Who went up? Derek Carr went up superstar? What? He just had yards. Every year you need passing yards and touchdowns combined. Okay. We can absolutely work with that. No other depth trades gained on the offense. That's fine. Derek Carr going up superstar. Love that. Defensively, we have... well, we know Farrell went up dev, but that was in season. That's it. No dev trade. I mean, I was expecting, given the stats we had, at least one of the linebackers, if not Abram as well. But, I mean, I think above all, Derek Carr going up to superstar, that has definitely made things a little bit more interesting for this rebuild going forward. So, before we get to free agency, we got to trim a little bit of fat. I wanted, there's some guys with the injuries, because we started with existing injuries. Got to get rid of him. That's just way too much money. And you look here, we got Nassif. That is a ridiculous I didn't think he got paid that much when he came over from, I think it was the Bucks. But, I mean, at this point, I can't pay a third edge rusher. Third edge rusher? Solid third edge rusher? Or do I want $7 million bucks? One thing I will say though is our offensive line got depleted. Even though we re-signed Richie Incognito, he just retired. So at least we got that money added back to the war chest here. But the offensive line needs a lot of TLC this offseason. We need another D tackle. Our linebacking core is okay. I think if we take Perriman here, we move him to left outside linebacker. Just kind of cleans up the depth chart a little bit, but very much lacking depth. And with Perriman being 29. Probably got to start planning for his successor there a little bit. 76, 79. We have Littleton. I mean, there's even an argument that we need to move out of that contract sooner than later. But for right now, he's solid. He's serviceable, placeholder, whatever you want to call it. Secondary, we got Hayward, Mullen, and Hobbs. I like that, especially Mullen and Hobbs going forward. Free safety, Morig's there. We got John Abram at strong safety. I was unfortunate he did not go up dev. Got our special teamers locked in. So with that, I mean, we cleared up. We're probably going to go into this with just over $50-some million worth of salary cap. Let's see what kind of damage we can do. So as we get into free agency, obviously the biggest story, if Davante Adams leaves the Green Bay Packers, is he going to Vegas to join his college quarterback Derek Carr? There's been some reports on social media, there's some recruiting. I think this would be an awesome match made happen. I think the Raiders, especially given the fact they're in Vegas, you need to make a big splash move, especially with everything that happened with Ruggs. We're going to try. I would say we're at least $7 million above whatever the Jets and Texans offered. So, I mean, at this point, if he doesn't come to us, I mean, we've done everything in our power. I'm not going to insanely overpay, but look at that. The fair contract's 118. We're giving him 127. So hopefully he comes in. And then I'm just, throwing some money at a D tackle here. I think we're going to be heavily focused on the offensive line in this draft, considering we need essentially a new starting left guard, center, and right tackle. So, I mean, easily in the first 2 rounds, hopefully we can get 2 linemen with dev traits. But, yeah, let's go, man. It's all about Davante Adams. Let's do it live. See if we're going to be able to secure his services. I know it's not spicy. It's almost a predictable free agency signing. But I really want to see this happen, especially in a realistic sense. If we can bring in Davante Adams, and we did. Both Hill and Adams are coming to Vegas. That's already a beautiful start to this offseason. If we get hit on a lineman or 2, it's only going to get that much better. Linderbaum, Kenyon Green, Ekwonu, any of those guys, huge upgrades for the Raiders. We're going to be picking in the 20s, so it's going to be a little bit of a stretch, but that's fingers crossed. All right, so we are at pick 27. I thought we were going to be worse than that. Got to go on the O-line. We have Kirkland. We've drafted him, I think, twice already in the rebuild, so from that I will avoid. Sawyer. I was really hoping Linderbaum at center would be there. Ekwonu, I've used him before in a couple rebuilds, so I'm thinking it's one of these 2. And for me and my money, I think Petit Friere out of Ohio State might have the higher ceiling, might have the better chance at a dev, which is what we need. He's a top fit for the Raiders, so we're going to get NPF, hidden dev, star. I would almost say borderline star tackle for Ohio State here. Had a bad game against Aiden Hutchinson, but I mean, pretty much everyone did. Ceiling is there. Let's go. Big hit. I think with where we're at, looking at some of the linemen that were available, I thought, there's a couple tackles that maybe we could slide in. Abe Lucas from Washington State. We have Charles Cross, Mississippi State. Rasheed Walker, Penn State. Falele from Minnesota. I feel like gamble that one of these 3 will be available in the 3rd round because we still need a long-term. We have Hayward on a 1-year deal, and I feel like, we have Waller, we have Roger McCreary here. Roger McCreary, very hype right now out of Auburn. Let's do it. Give me a dev. Damn it. No dev trait. I think the overall should be solid, though. Ooh, I wasn't even playing for this. I just got Kane Madden in the 3rd round. Marshall transfer, went to Notre Dame. Dev trait. Let's go. So our first draft with Doug Pederson as our coach. It's going to be exciting not having, imagine how, I think Doug's going to be so excited to have an offseason with not having to deal with Howie Roseman. But either way, let's take a look at our ratings. We had 2 hidden devs, and I'm expecting Roger McCreary to at least compensate for no dev trade with a solid rating. Ugh. Okay. First round, so we get NPF from Ohio State, 70 with a hidden dev. He's going to play right away, immediately, starting right tackle for us. It's an upgrade over Brandon Parker. We got Roger McCreary in the 2nd round. Even though he's a good player, probably need to update the ratings here. He's probably going to be a guy that gets touched up when I do a complete overhaul of the draft class from a rating standpoint, which is soon. But 67 normal, at least he's a scheme fit. 3rd round, a surprising dev here. Kane Madden at right guard. Excited for him. He's probably going to be plug and play. That whole right-hand side. Obviously we have Leatherwood, but he can just move him over to the other guard spot. That's nice. We got Tyler Batty, receiving back out of Mizzou. I think he's really getting slept on right now. He should be able to come in and potentially long-term fill over that Kenyon Drake role. We got Ellis Brooks, 64, 7 Banks, 64, Lindstrom, 60. I mean, that's a solid draft. And walking away with 2 hidden dev linemen, I'll take that, even if we technically missed in the 2nd round by my draft standards. All right, forgot to do the preview. Let's take a look at our team, the Vegas Raiders, as we gear up for year 2. We actually lost week 1 against Joe Burrow and the Bengals. That's not a great start. Look at our team, and I think my kid's home, so this may get interrupted, but we'll do it live. Offensively, obviously with Derek Carr going to depth trade, that's huge. Landing Davante Adams in free agency gives us 2 X factors to go along with right now on the offense, which is huge. NPF and Kane Madden in the draft, 2 hidden devs. You love to see that. Then you flip to the defense. Not a lot of changes. We have Hill there at D tackle, but other than that, really just hoping for more dev traits. We now have Mullen back as well in the secondary, which should help a little bit, but I would love to see one of these linebackers, an Abram, or really any one of these stars to go up superstar at some point this season. But the plan, made the playoffs last year. Let's just scrape by, get in the playoffs again here in year 2. Coming up for the bye. 2nd place, 4-3 is not bad. We have a breakout scenario for Farrell, I don't know what it is. Just putting it all together here. Doug Pederson scheme. Roy Walker, whoever the fuck that is. 75 rushing yards, kind of an easy goal to achieve here. Rams, not the most prolific rushing team. And we got the victory. Go to 5-3. We got the undefeated Chiefs up here. Let's see if we hit it for Farrell. That'd be pretty dope. No superstar. I mean, that's a tough one, though. 75 yards rushing, is what it is. Let's look at our contracts. We have 8 players who are looking to get paid. Don't have a whole lot of money. Don't have crazy money after. Wow, I don't know if we're going to be able to re-sign everybody. Because look at this. I can tell you right now, we're going to want Farrell back. We're going to want Abram back. We're going to want Renfrow back. Let's give Renfrow a contract here. Actually, we do have quite a bit of money now that I think about it, because these are a lot of contracts that are off the books this year. So Renfrow wants more, but I think we keep him. I feel like 2 years to commit with Derek Carr is reasonable. If it doesn't work, we still have a little bit of a window before the end of this rebuild. We have Mullen, absolutely give him a 5-year. Why are all these guys trying to fucking bend me over here? Yannick Ngakoue, what do you want? 3-year deal, keep to your 30. That's actually a favorable deal. Got him locked up. Max Crosby, let's give him a big 5-year deal. Kick that can down the road. Shave a mil off the initial cap hit, which we got. And then obviously Josh Jacobs, 5-year deal, looking for $52 million. So we got him locked up. I think very much we could open things up for Casey Hayward. Especially after missing on McCreary. It's not like we have a corner that could take over for him. And even if with a little bit of regression, he's still going to be able to contribute next year. So we need Mullen, Derek Carr, Hunter Renfrow, all to get new contracts. And then as soon as we can, week 12, 13, we'll be able to try to get some of our younger players. But, I mean, even think after we get all these contracts, we're still going to have decent playing money for this offseason. So as we try to make the playoffs here in year 2, we got Jonathan Abram ahead of our week 18 finale, which I think win and we're in for playoffs. Has a chance to get off that normal dev trade to a star, which would be great for the back of the defense. We're 9-7, second place in the West. We got the 4-12 lowly Saints. So you're kind of hoping that we can actually pull the trigger here, get a victory, which we do 21-0. We're playing the Bills in the wild card round. Jonathan Abram goes up dev trade. It does not get that much better for a regular season finale, plus 10,000 XP for Jonathan Abram. Let's take a look at how we made the playoffs. Look at the Chiefs, 16-1. Good God. I mean, this is going to be a really tough assignment taking on Josh Allen and the Bills. But let's look at our squad. Hello, we did look at the big picture in the NFL. Derek Carr. I mean, the touchdowns aren't great, but the yardage is insane. So that's something that we know where it's going to be pretty good. His Carr is always going to be throwing for crazy yards. And he went dev trait last year purely based off yards. So I wonder if that will be the case here this year. Zeke Elliott, disgusting numbers, 25 touchdowns, 2,000 yards. 19 sacks there for Bosa. I'm not really seeing anything else that relates to the Raiders, but I'm happy to see Derek Carr there. Got the superstar dev last year. 3rd in passing yards, 1 yard shy of 5K. 29 touchdowns, 10 picks. That's not that bad. Plus, when you bring in Davante Adams, you fully expect him to have, high production. 11-10 here for Josh Jacobs. 10 touchdowns, vultured away by Kenyon Drake. Receiving, we had almost 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns for Davante Adams, 11-4 for Waller. Almost 1,000, almost 3,000 yard receivers, but 11 touchdowns for Renfrow. Happy with that. 800 yards for Bryan Edwards is not too bad. 480. Josh Jacobs in the backfield is solid as well. Defensively, 120 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 2 picks for Kwiatkowski. We had 9.5 sacks in Ngakoue, 8 from Max Crosby. And on the back end, 4 picks. Casey Hayward, glad we got him on a 1-year deal. And let's take a look at Abram. We just got that dev trait last week. Let's make him a scheme fit. Why not? 80 overall, nice and rounded. Get him some zone ability there. Star dev, only 25, and recently signed under a new contract. So, top 5 offense for Doug Pederson and the Raiders. Zeke is the MVP. And then take a look quickly in the AFC. Mahomes, Edmonds, Emery, Sauce, Gardner. We have Mahomes, Mixon, Robinson, Tooney. It's just a whole lot of 16-1 Chiefs, but that's fine. It's only year 2. Still plenty of football left to play. Plenty of time for the Vegas Raiders to get some individual accolades here. First up in the playoffs, we got a victory last year. And this year, unfortunately, one and done. Davante Adams was not enough to push us over the edge. We fall 35-26 to the 3-seed Buffalo Bills. Look at the stat line. I mean, it wasn't a bad performance. Yeah, Derek Carr did have an interception, but 282, 3 touchdowns is not bad. 45 yards. So they kind of took away the run. Renfrow with an insane game. He went nuclear. Almost 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Defensively, just couldn't get any pressures, couldn't force any turnovers. You look at the Bills. Well, they had Teron Johnson with the pick. A couple sacks there. Ed Oliver, Edmonds. On the receiving front, Beasley had a day, running the ball, able to do that and get some more production than we did. Josh Jacobs. It is what it is. I mean, Bills are a good team. This is only year 2 of the rebuild. Still plenty of good football left for the Raiders. Going to be excited to see if Derek Carr, because of those yards, goes up dev trade. We might have an X factor on our hands. All right, so at the end of the season, nice Madden 21 special. The Cowboys and Browns met in the Super Bowl 28-17. The Cowboys won. I like seeing that, though, for Mechie, the Canadian out of Alabama. John Mechie, the 3rd winning MVP. That's pretty cool. But as we clear out the lockers, let's see if we have any dev traits here for our Vegas Raiders. Derek Carr, 3rd in passing yards, and did not get a dev trait. So it's not solely tied to yards. Hopefully there's just no regression. That's like honestly the win I would take if we had none of that regression. Our 2 hidden dev linemen, Kane Madden star dev, he's up to a 75. Nicholas Petit-Frere, 76 with a star dev. But those are 2 nice pieces. I mean, really, look at this. We get a center. That's probably a set and forget offensive line for the remainder of this rebuild. Defensively, let's see. Do we have any devs? Littleton went up, but I think he's out of contract, which is kind of lame. Yeah, I mean, no real dev traits. Kind of a lame year for that. It is a free agent period where I just don't think we're going to be overly aggressive. There is, in terms of upgrades, just not much, if any. Like, we're good in the secondary, I think, for right now. I mean, maybe we could think forward for life beyond Hayward, but we have so much money, and I like Nate Hobbs. So it's like we desperately need linebackers, and there's just legit, like, we have Littleton, 1-year deal. What does that really do? I'd rather, like, not have him in there, save that money. But then save that money for what? I mean, we might as well spend it. It's a 1-year Band-Aid. Get Ellis Brooks, Darius, look at Skeef. It's literally everyone we let walk is, like, the best guy we could bring. So what I'm going to do, just so it's at least one guy, he went up dev trait last year, I'll offer Littleton a 1-year deal, but other than that, we are 100% targeting linebackers in this draft. All right, so this actually felt pretty good. It's a player we've yet to use in a rebuild. I will be, just full disclosure, Noah Sewell is available. We have drafted him before. We drafted him like our first realistic rebuild. He's a very good player. So I'm looking at right now, Nolan Smith from Georgia, also just a part of that historic Georgia defense. He's going to be a damn good player. So let's try him out for speed. Look at that, 91 acceleration, 84 speed, great athlete, hidden dev. We got one of linebacker. Hopefully there's another linebacker in the 2nd round so that we can kind of just set and forget this position for the remainder of this rebuild. Look at the linebackers we got. I'm going to grab Wilger from BYU. Might be a dev. I don't think, but there might be a chance. There's not, but I think much like when we got Roger McCreary a year ago, should still have a fairly solid rating and could play and see the field for us a lot as a rookie, enough so that he could get a dev trait scenario and get off that normal fairly quickly. Draft recap time. So we got our hidden dev linebacker in the 1st round. No idea what the base overall rating is, but it should be solid. 72. It's probably a star dev, but either way, that's a good building piece going forward. Nolan Smith out of Georgia. We got Wilger, 69 in the 2nd round. It's not a brutal rating. Would have been happy with a dev trait there. Forsyth, 66. Got a backup QB. Kevon Bennett, Arkansas State. More of a pass rusher, 66. Got Jelani Woods, I believe 6'7". Gigantic back. It kind of takes over that Foster Moreau role, and then Tenuta on the offensive line. But we got one linebacker. That's, well, I'm happy with that. Raiders gear up for year 3. Back-to-back playoff berths this time. Let's go on a run. Our team, we're at that point with Davante Adams, with Derek Carr, that, the regression is only about to start. Like, it's not like they might be at their peak right now. So 82 superstar Carr, you can still win with that. Jacobs up to a 93, 98 for Davante Adams, Renfro. 84. We have still X Factor and Darren Waller. Offensive line returns from last season. Hopefully that cohesion helps. On the defensive side, front 4 remains the exact same. Linebacking core changes a little bit. Diablo is getting an opportunity. Great name, Divine Diablo. Gets an opportunity, to see if he can be a starter for us. He's 25. It's now or never. Brought back Littleton on a 1-year deal. Then we hit on Nolan Smith, hidden dev player in the 1st round. Murray and Abram are there. Abram now full season with a star dev, so hopefully that helps out. A little bit of regression for Casey Hayward. Still a good player. We got Mullen and Hobbs there. Would love to see Hobbs go up dev trait at some point. But, at the end of the day, this offense is going to go as far as Derek Carr is going to take them. And I think, with especially him being almost set and forget 5,000 passing yards a year, I think we're going to be competitive. It's just really, really tough to be super competitive and get that 1 seed when you're going up against the Kansas City Chiefs every year, and they're an utter juggernaut in Madden 22 Sim, but you don't need me to explain that to you. You already know this if you play the game. All right, so we start the year undefeated, and we're week 4, and we have another dev trait scenario potential for Jonathan Abram. Sitting on star, look at up, superstar. We're 4-0, taking on the 2-2 Green Bay Packers on the road. Always a tough assignment going into Lambeau. And we fall short in a shootout. Let's see, Jonathan Abrams, is there silver lining to go up, Dev? And unfortunately, he did not. All right, so we're at roughly the midway point of the year. We're 6-2. You look at the top of the division right now, the Chiefs are 7-1. That one loss did come to us in week 3, so that's kind of good. And hopefully living rent-free in their head. But I mean, offensively, we're a juggernaut, 88 overall, one of the best offenses in the league. And obviously with their defense, still a little bit of work in progress. But let's take a look at our contracts, see what players want to gear up here for the remainder of this rebuild. And for Darren Waller, absolutely, guy's irreplaceable. One of the best stories. I'd feel bad just not giving him money. I probably could get it for $63 million. Look at the remainder. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a light year. Littleton, I think we can get a replacement in the open market. Bryan Edwards has been like a serviceable wide receiver 3, to be honest with you. I think we can keep him, even though he's not a depth. I mean, there's only, he's getting 800 yards a year. Let's see if we can give him a 4-year deal. Like, he fills his role perfectly. I don't need all dev traits. I don't need all superstars. I feel like with Davante Adams and Renfrow, Edwards has been more than serviceable. Teases with 1,000 yards every single year as our 4th option. Right? So that's not too good. Too bad. Sorry. We have Hayward looking for a 1-year deal. Again, throw him this money if he wants to stay. Probably not going to be a better option into the open market, even with whatever regression. He's probably going to be 82 going into next season. So we'll give Darren Waller a little bit more money, and we're still going to have roughly, because we were light last year in free agency, $30-40 million to spend on the open market. Man, I think we lost. If we lose this game, we lost 6 in a row. Okay, we lost 5 of our last 6 games. Luckily, by the skin of our teeth, we make the playoffs. That was unreal slid. And, there were solid teams that we were playing, but still, this team's too good to lose almost 6 in a row. But we beat the Patriots, and oddly enough, we take on the Patriots and Mac Jones in the wild card round. So that's a nice little revenge game for them. And the Chiefs, again, back-to-back 16-1 seasons. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? How do I, it's going to make it that much more satisfying, I guess, if we win. Looking at the stats, well, no Derek Carr up there. And for our own team, I'm not seeing anybody, which is unfortunate. Look at the stats and awards. Derek Carr has been copy and paste 5,000 passing. I mean, he got kind of close. 4,700 yards, 30 touchdowns, 10 picks. It's not bad. 15-23 for Josh Jacobs. Okay. God damn. It's a hell of a year. 13-8 Davante Adams. 1,006 for Renfrow. 966-7 for Edwards. A little bit disappointed for Darren Waller. That's not even a bad year, honestly, for a tight end. Almost 900 yards and 4 touchdowns. Okay, happy really with all those numbers. Defensively, Littleton led the team in tackles. 10 sacks and Ngakoue, 9 from Max Crosby. We'd love to see double-digit sacks here from Max Crosby coming up. He's 91, probably. 91 overall, almost 92. Need to be getting more production than that. 8 sacks from Farrell. Interceptions, finally getting some sort of turnover production in the secondary. 3 from Mullen, 3 from Roger McCree. I don't know how these guys are seeing the field because he's our 4th corner, but all right. And we finished with the 3rd offense in the NFL, so that means that's been a staple here. Doug Pederson, since he's been in Vegas, his top 5 offenses across the board. Josh Jacobs, number 8 in the MVP race. Offensive player of the year went to Mahomes, Garrett. We got C.J. Stroud, Brian Breesy, Mahomes, Chubb, Demas. Oh my, it's just, I can kind of see why Raider fans hate the Chiefs, We get it. You're good. So for year 3, Doug Pederson knows a thing or two about beating the Patriots in the playoffs. Come on. 3-point defeat, 29-26. I mean, the good is we've made the playoffs 3 straight years. The bad is we have 1 win in 3 playoffs. Not good enough from Derek Carr. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 300 yards, 92 and a tutty for Jacobs. No dominant play there from our receivers. Brooks somehow he's our middle linebacker too. Littleton had a pick. All right, back to the drawing board. So to close this, oh no. Year 3's back-to-back games. So we had back-to-back 16-1 seasons for the Chiefs and back-to-back Super Bowl victories for the Cowboys, which is absolutely unrealistic and disgusting. But it's the terrifying fantasy that we're currently living in. So for that, for going up against 2 16-1 Chiefs, can we get a couple generous dev traits here thrown our way? Nothing on the offense. On the defensive side, none. I don't think. Actually, no, I take that back. Nolan Smith, our hidden dev linebacker, star. But Abram went from star to superstar. Max Crosby went from star to superstar. And, Trayvon Mullen? Trayvon Mullen from star to superstar. That's a win. So over this free agent period, had, 40 million bucks, could make a splash. Here's what we're going to try to do. We have Shaq Mason, who was a center in college. We need a center on our offensive line. So we threw a 2-year deal his way, currently at the top bid, just barely squeaking by the Packers there. So it'd be nice to bring him in. I will slide him into center. There's no linebackers. I need linebackers. Literally, there's nothing at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get Grant Delpit at strong safety, 25, dev trait, 77, and if we can land him, put in a big bid, I'm going to move Jonathan Abram to linebacker. Why not, right? Why not? Life gives you lemons, which is just back-to-back horrific linebacker free agents. You got to kind of make do, get creative. All right, so looking at this, we did get Delpit, so we will be able to shift Abram to a linebacker. We didn't get Shaq Mason, which is annoying, maybe a blessing in disguise. The last time they paid big money to get a former Patriot offensive lineman, it was Trent Brown, and that didn't really work out too much. So let's look at mock draft here. What are they saying? I hope it's a linebacker because we desperately need a linebacker for the Vegas Raiders. We're going to be down here in the 20s. Right now, linked with a quarterback, Brian Carson out of Auburn. I'll tell you right now, I'll be more inclined to get Daniel or Sean Pearson or any of those things that is not a quarterback. All right, so for our selection, couple, we did some scouting here. I got 2 scheme fits. They're not home run players. There's no real home run players. I think the decision comes down to players that we have the least information of. First, we have Nick Springs from Michigan, 6'3", 250. Pretty good combine. 6 in the 40, 3-cone, 20-yard is solid. Bench press is also pretty good. But I just think we're going to go with the top linebacker available, Daniel Nolan out of Oklahoma. We know he has B pursuit, which is acceptable. And then when you look at the physicals, first in the 40, his pro day, second at the combine, 6 in the 3-cone, 4th in the 20. Feel fairly confident he's going to be a good player, and that, looks pretty damn good, man. Let's go. That's a hit. All right, not a bad hit. This is in the 3rd round, just shots in the dark. Grab a center, because we need a center. We got Edward Butler out of Utah State, hidden dev. Let's go. So let's get a draft recap. 2 hidden dev players. That is always a fantastic way to start. I simmed out the last couple rounds. Guys, my board was kind of depleted, and the CPU actually hooked us up. We got in the 5th round here, 70 running back, Bradley, and a 70 defensive end, Kyle Fields from Alabama. But our picks, wow, the rating sucks. 63 hidden dev for Edward Butler. We'll take the dev. I got a 68 corner normal dev, but no, look at that middle linebacker, absolute hit. 76, let's go, day 1 plug-and-play starter. Year 4 for the Raiders, gotta just find that formula to win playoff games. We win the regular season games, we win competitive. I mean, as competitive as you could be with the Chiefs going 16-1 in back-to-back years. But I think this is probably the most complete roster we've had so far in this rebuild. So for that, I am optimistic. On the offense side, no regression from Josh Jacobs, which is good. We have Davante Adams up to the 99 club. Josh Jacobs will probably hit 99 this season. Renfro's been good. We brought back Bryan Edwards, really good wide receiver 3. On the offensive line, I just said, screw it, let's go with the upside. Butler, basically it's a 68 normal versus 64. He's younger. I think it's going to be better for us long-term come year 5 to just commit to Butler right now. Plus, what if he's superstar? Probably not, but what if he is? Let's give him reps. And on the defensive side, well, the front 4 remains the same, except we have a brand new dev trait for Crosby. The secondary remains the same. We have a brand new dev trait for Mullen. And the secondary with this, the back end of the safeties, we moved Abram to middle linebacker, Nolan to outside linebacker with Nolan Smith. And then Grant Delpit we brought in free agency from the Browns to be our new strong safety to fill the void from moving Abram into middle linebacker. So all in all, we should be better than we have been at any other point. And at any other point, we've made the playoffs. So I'm thinking 11, 12 wins, somewhere in that territory. Pretty awesome. All right, so we're at week 11, just about the midway point, 8-2. Actually, a game ahead of the Chiefs. We have a breakout scenario. Hopefully it's defensive. It is, okay, it's Josh Jacobs, who's been crushing it this year. I mean, at this point, he's probably not going to hit it, but I'll let him go up to X Factor, just get that XP boost, help him out a little bit, even if he doesn't achieve it. Gets 6 and 3 Texas. Even though they're only 79 overall, we smoke them. 31-7. I'm pretty sure Josh Jacobs didn't get the X Factor. Can we just say he did? Because when you look at the stats, I know he's really good this year. Right now, he's leading the league. You know what? I'm gonna call an audible. I'm giving it to him. I'm not even gonna check that. I know he didn't earn it probably, but the fact that you're the #1 running back in the NFL, he's probably gonna achieve it anyways. I'm gonna reward him for carrying our team and helping us get to 9-2. And we're just gonna trust Madden. It's Madden's mistake. Madden has to fix it, Not me. Let's look at our contracts here. Week 12. Who do we want for the remainder of the rebuild? Well, you got Morig. Bring him back in at safety. Give him a little bit of a longer-term deal so we have as much money as possible in case this goes to year 5 Super Bowl bust. Why not, man? Let's just make this the Derek Carr rebuild. Let's bring him back for one more season and let him try to, put the stamp on everything here. We got Hobbs in the secondary. I feel like it's probably going to be better at this point to get Hobbs and continue to let him develop. Hayward's most likely going to regress below that 79, so I don't really think we need to re-sign that. Leatherwood on the offensive line. He's been solid, serviceable. Bring him back. BJ Hill, Gillespie, everyone else for the most part. You can all pound sand. So to close out year 4, we got a 28-7 victory over the Chargers. 12-5, our first AFC West title, but we're the 2 seed. We got maybe we're the 3. We're the 2 behind the Bengals, who actually I think did beat us in the regular season. Okay. Is what it is. Second best record in the NFL, and I know it's on the back of Josh Jacobs. As you can see, Josh Jacobs, 1,700 yards, 23 touchdowns. He'd go up X Factor anyway because he's top 3, so I'm not worried about keeping him in that dev. And Mahomes, just, god damn it, man, Mahomes has been so good. Looking around the league, not seeing much that represents our Raiders, but that's fine. Josh Jacobs is the whole damn show. Derek Carr, good year. Almost 4,500 yards, 35 touchdowns. He's been good, honestly. I can't complain. Josh Jacobs was amazing this year. 1,700 yards, 23 tutties. We got 1,011 for Renfro, 1,006 for Davante Adams, 9 and 6 for Edwards, 850 and 8 for Darren Waller. Very good numbers there. Defensively, Abram, 126 tackles in his first year at linebacker, 15 sacks, 22 TFLs for Max Crosby, 11 sacks in Ngakoue, 9.5 Hill, 9 for Farrell. So really, everyone on the D-line, 8. Ellis Brooks, 4 picks, 3 for Mullen. I'm happy with that, man. Where's that linebacker? Let's see what his depth trade is here. What? My starting middle linebacker. We must have just lived in nickel or something. Did I make him our starting middle, or was it was Abram? Okay, so Abram was our middle linebacker, but Smith, our hidden dev, he's star. That was our first pick, and then Daniel Nolan, our hidden dev. He literally didn't even play enough snaps. Man, come on, get him on the field. Finished with the number 2 offense in the NFL. Doug Pederson just crushing it right now here in Vegas. MVP went to Mahomes. Josh Jacobs coming in at number 5 in the AFC. We get Mahomes, TJ Watt. Josh Jacobs finally running back of the year, huh? Appreciate it. Nothing on the defense is what it is, man. Keep hating, keep sleeping on the Raiders. It is year 4. I'm feeling generous too. If we don't, year 5, I'll hop on the sticks. I want to win a Super Bowl here. But it starts here in the wild card, number 2 team in the NFL, and we do handle the Pittsburgh Steelers 28-14. Not bad. In this game, we had actually pretty bad show. Mariota's the quarterback there. That's ridiculous. Derek Carr was meh. Not a good game at all, but luckily you can just rely on the run game. 96 yards, 2 touchdowns for Josh Jacobs, 95 yards, touchdown for Darren Waller. Defensively, got some pressure there. 2.5 sacks in Ngakoue, a sack for Hill, interception for Hayward and Hobbs, as the Raiders are moving on to take on the Houston Texans in the divisional round. So the Texans beat the Bills, who beat us last year. They won 28-10. Deshaun Watson's been pretty good. We are the home team, home field advantage. Let's see if we can use that with our 92 offense. Look, the Texans suck. This needs to be, I think we should put 30 on them. Beat them like 30-10. Well, we put 30 on them, 34-31. We're in the AFC Championship game. Let's go. Come on, Doug. Let's finish it out. 34-31 on this game. Carr, he's not really carrying the team by any means. It's probably the run game. Yeah, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, Josh Jacobs. $105 for Renfro and a touchdown. Defensively, we got 2 sacks, Smith and Crosby. No turnovers. Clean game from Deshaun Watson. But we have punched our ticket against the juggernaut so far in this rebuild, the Chiefs, in our own division. This is going to be tough, but we have the home field, right? Come on. Come on, baby. Big money, no whip. Big time whammy. Wanted big money, got the big time whammy. 28-17. Come on, get there. Come on. Wasn't even really that close. Again, I bet Derek Carr, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Called it. Yeah. Kind of the stat line we got from him this year. Kelsey had a huge game. Defensively, Abram 13 tackles. We got 1 sack through 2 picks. Just not All right, year 5, Super Bowl or bust. Let's go. End of year 4, the Chiefs. We lost to the eventual Super Bowl champions, I guess. 24-10. Shelby Harris, kind of a journeyman, formerly of the Broncos, wins the MVP. Load our squad, Eddie Dev traits, plus we get to find out the hidden dev of the linebacker that we drafted on the offensive side. Josh Jacobs earned his X Factor. He's 99. A little bit of regression there from Davante Adams, which is not great. Butler's up to a 75, so it's kind of paying dividends. So we committed to him early to get him the starting reps. In the back end, Nolan is a star dev. Crosby's up to an X Factor. And that's it. Josh Jacobs and Crosby. We had 2 new X Factors. That should help. So for our final free agency period, again, it's not unrealistic. It's realistic. We can't just sign everybody. But we are making aggressive moves, knowing that we were just that close to winning a Super Bowl. That's when you go after aggressively for short-term deals with free agents that are veterans. So we're looking at Xavier Howard in the secondary. 86 superstar would pair nicely with Mull on the outside, keeping Hobbs in the slot. And then I wanted to take a little bit of a gander here at on the defensive side, another veteran, just 1-year deal. Michael Pierce, D tackle, coming there next to Farrell. Another just not great free agency class, unfortunately. You look at the top names available. Zach Martin, don't really need him. Landon Brown, don't really need him. Kickers, of course, 2 kickers in the top 5. Kind of weak, but if we can get those 2 veterans, improve the defense, can go a long way. And they want to try to win a Super Bowl. Look at our team ranks. Number 1 offense, number 5 defense. Don't need a whole lot. Michael Pierce, Xavier Howard, that could be enough to move the needle, especially bringing someone like Pierce. Could shave off a couple spots off that rush defense. And Xavier Howard's definitely going to help us get more turnovers in the secondary. All right, just quickly try to find BPA. Final draft doesn't really matter. And just because we had linebackers getting weird, tackle numbers. Grab the freak athlete, Jason Barnard, and just like that, get your draft combine freaks, and you just come with the dev trait. So let's take a little bit of a gander at our final draft. I simmed it out after the first round, so any other good picks is completely on the computer. We got a 6'6" wide receiver in the 6th round, Mike Orchard, 66 D end. You always get that sounds like a porn star, Addison Long, let's be honest. Del Parrish, normal dev. We got Youngblood out of Purdue, normal dev. Well, we hit on the linebacker. He looks pretty damn good. Might be able to find a way to get him contribute. Sooner or later, 73 straight up? Normal dev. Hey, hidden dev? We'll take it. Okay. Year 5, Raiders, 88 overall. Dear Madden, we need to like the Stan song. We need to write a song to them. Because year 5, our team's stacked. Don't have me barely go above 500. That's all I'm asking. Okay, please and thanks. Offense, very good. No weaknesses. Defense, very good. No weaknesses. For the love of God, look at this team. Michael Pierce coming in. Xavier Howard coming in. All right, linebacking core finally put together. This needs to be 12 wins. This needs to be a team that I'd be like, oh man, we might get a first round bye. Not, oh shit, we were one of the worst teams in the NFL. So come on, Madden, please throw me a bone here. Hashtag fix Madden franchise. I'll take this. 13-4. Put 40 on the Titans. And that's I literally thought for a second. First glance, I was like, we didn't make the playoffs. But 13-4, let's go, baby. On the back of what? Josh Jacobs, 2nd running back in the NFL. Beautiful. Max Crosby, 17 sacks. Things you love to see. Taking a look at our final stats. Year 5, trying to win a Super Bowl. Derek Carr, 4,200, almost 43. 100 yards, 32 touchdowns, 10 picks. That's pretty much his standard stat line. Almost 2,000 rushing yards from Josh Jacobs, 18 touchdowns. We had 11 and 12 for Waller, 1,006 Renfro, 900 yards for Davante Adams, which is a little bit weird. But, I'll take the success. Huge year from Jonathan Abram, middle linebacker. 121 tackles, sack and a half, 4 picks, 17 and a half sacks, Matt Crosby. We have 9 sacks, Yannick Ngakoue. 4 picks Abram, 4 picks Morig, 3 picks Trayvon Mullen. All looks pretty good to me. The 3rd offense in the NFL, which is dope. 5th ranked defense, which is also very good. Dak is the MVP, and I'm actually watching the Cowboys-Saints game right now, and the Cowboys are on the 1. Have money on Zeke getting a rushing touchdown, and they throw it. So fuck you, Dak, honestly, and respectfully. Josh Jacobs, number 6 in the MVP race. Looking at the rest of it, just seeing if we have any Raiders show up. Josh Jacobs at running back, and that is it, man. Not a great year. I guess, everyone knows. Everyone hates the Raiders, right? Raiders are always going to be underrated. But we can kick our feet up, sit through the wild card, and await Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. A very good team, too. 88 overall to our 90 overall. This is going to be a battle, but it is time to hop on the sticks and do the damn thing, man. Let's get this victory. Let's go and win a Super Bowl. Oh, there we go. Soft middle defense. Let's connect with Darren Waller. Big play on the opening drive. Waller's absolutely cooking against these linebackers. Patrick Queen, doesn't matter. Let's just drive off Josh Jacobs, get our blocks. Let's look for contact. He actually does get popped there, but able to get the first touchdown of the game, get the crowd into it. Defense doesn't get the stop. Oh, yeah, easy does it. Easy does it. Josh Jacobs, let's go. Best running back maybe in the NFL right now. On a slant, we got Renfro. Got to be one of the best slant runners in the NFL. Davante Adams can pretty much just run any route. Oh, I didn't like it. Coach wants slants. Not going to deny this request, especially in the red zone. Davante right for the linebacker. That's just fucking... Fool me once on the slants. Fool me twice, no chance. We just went to the wrong guy. There's no way they goal line stance. Josh Jacobs averaging like 7 yards a carry. Come on. Damn it, man. Who's 20? This 20 dude is pissing me off. 4th and goal. Let's go. Strength against strength. I don't see any way they stop us forced. Okay, there's no way they go 97 yards. There's zero chance. Let's go. Let's go. Great effort. Brian Edwards, get back in and block. Great effort. All right, this got to be Davante Adams. I don't think he's got open all day. It's going right to you, 17. Make a play. Thank you. The defense doesn't get a stop, but at least we got enough time to go try and win it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. One-handed catch on 3rd and 19. Davante Adams. Run the clock down, kick the field goal, and win. That's all we got to do. They got no kickers. They got no timeouts, sorry, so it shouldn't ice it, right? This should just be easy as can be. Line it up. Accurate. It is up. And the Raiders are moving on to the AFC Championship game. And who else? To make the Super Bowl, the team that's been a pain in our ass this whole rebuild, the Kansas City Chiefs. See, we got playoff rivals. Let's might as well check this out. Get a sniff. Get some sort of boost. Obviously, chess match. Play rack, probably more beneficial. +5 play rack. Beat the Chiefs. Sounds good to me. Go. Oh, come on, man. Break the tackle. Break the tackle. You're an X Factor. That guy's normal death. Oh, that was ridiculous. Derek Carr to Davante Adams. First touchdown of the championship game. Just tiptoe. I mean, what was that? Did you guys see that? We run that one back. Looked like we got a just can you dig it sucker. Spin-a-rooney here. Timeout. I want to see replay. Look at this. Okay, so we tiptoe. Tiptoe with Davante. Watch this guy. Watch this shit. Oh! Oh! Okay. Got a lot of swag. Who's that? Fenton? Sneed. LeJerry Sneed. A lot of swag. First and goal. Renfro's looking real juicy. Could go Davante Adams. Just trust our, you know, strong runner. Strong hands. Reliable hands. 2-score lead against the Chiefs. All right, they get an instant touchdown. We got a $1.09 to get some more points. Let's be aggressive. Oh, Josh Jacobs at the backfield. Oh, he's not fast, though. But he's fast enough! Oh, come on! Oh, let's go! Using every bit of that, I don't know what it is. 87 speed, 86 speed. The Chiefs go down the field, kick the field goal, but we get the ball to start the second half. Let's go quick. No huddle. Derek Carr yet to miss. Put on an all-time performance in the black. Is that Waller? That's definitely not. Those are ridiculous shoulder pads. But let's go. We might be able to sim this one out now, I think. I think we got enough of a lead. I don't know. 25 is enough. Feel like it is. But look at that. 40 bomb dropped on the Chiefs. Their defense just didn't want none. And they, given the fact they've got theirs. They've had their moment. It's our time to shine. Insane performance from Derek Carr. We had 3 of those. He went on to get 2 more touchdowns. Finished with 5 on the day as Doug Pederson, Derek Carr, Davante Adams, Darren Waller, and Josh Jacobs are going to the Super Bowl. Damn, I was looking at the NFC side. It was the Eagles and the Bucs. I was like, how fitting would that be? Doug Pederson taking on the Eagles again. But it is Tampa. Let's talk about this one, see if we can get some hype. If Eddie rains down on you, have a chance to do that for the first time. Well, that's false, but I mean, okay, whatever. It's everything. Sure. For Doug Pederson to win a second. We got 10 staff points. Don't need them at all. Let's see what these Bucs are made of. What are they working with? Let's just look at big picture. They're pretty good. Brady has to be retired, so I wonder what quarterback took over there. So they got JT Daniels, Leonard Fournette, Trey Sermon, Chuba Hubbard. They got 8 running backs. Godwin, Mike Evans still doing the damn thing there. Tyler Johnson as well. O.J. Howard, Tevin Jenkins, Ali Marpet, Ryan Jensen there, Tristan Wirfs, 99. Defensively, they got 285 DNs. Zach Carter from Florida, 99 Vita Vea at nose tackle. Brandon Smith, X Factor. Devin White, X Factor. Carlton Davis. Gee, okay, this is a stacked team. This is a really good team. We even got superstar punter. We got our work cut out for us to win a Super Bowl. I don't know, what was that? Would this be the fourth or 5th Super Bowl in Raiders history? I think it's 4. Alrighty, rematch of Super Bowl 37. The Raiders and the Bucs. The last time they played, I actually didn't know this, that the Raiders were the favorites in that first Super Bowl matchup, which it was, I mean, probably one of the most lopsided. I wasn't super into football at that point. I'm pretty sure I watched that Super Bowl. I think like I remember some of that, but it was 48-21 for the Bucs. And let's see if we can get a little bit of revenge here. Look at this starting field position. Must have been a turnover on the Bucs. Wow. Look for contact. Run someone over. Set the tone. Yes, sir. Plant Carlton Davis on his ass. That's how you start a Super Bowl. Another stop by the defense. Oh, no. That was actually a good play. Literally, if he didn't make an exceptional play, we had Renfro right behind him with a whole lot of open field. Pressure by Vita Vea on that one. Again, toss that one up. Good play by the Bucs D. So the Raiders stopped us. I don't know if I'm confident enough to go for it 4 times again. Don't matter. Able to find his way through traffic. The worst cartwheel you ever see. That's actually a terrific celebration by Josh Jacobs. Raiders regain the lead. Got him. Got him. Got him. Davante Adams, let's go. He's probably front runner for the MVP right now. Go deep to right. We're getting in borderline, we gotta sim this out territory. We get another touchdown. I might see if the team that we built can actually handle the job in the second half. See what they can do. Second half, we go down the field, kick a field goal. Our defense has just been pitching a shutout all day. Bucs offense doesn't have an answer. Absolutely cook him. JT Daniels. There's a reason why I couldn't cut it at Georgia. And we're seeing it here. Full display. That is a successful, realistic rebuild, which we absolutely need. I feel like we had a win streak, lost the last one, might have even lost the last 2. So very pumped to get this victory with the Raiders, with Doug Pederson back in the NFL. I think that's a realistic landing spot for him. I think right now, looking at the potential coaching carousels, I mean, if Cliff Kingsbury leaves, I think if I'm Arizona, I'd want Doug Pederson. I think Raiders could use Doug Pederson. Like, you know, say what you want. Obviously, I have a little bit of a different opinion on Doug. He won us the Super Bowl, but also we had some pretty goddamn terrific, horrific years with him. But I think a big issue with Doug Pederson in Philadelphia was the general manager, and I think he will get a head coaching job. And I don't know. Look at that. He could do this for the Vegas Raiders. Derek Carr, Super Bowl champion after John Gruden, after the rug stuff. Arnett looked like the point of no return for this franchise, and we're able to get a, revenge. 17, 18, 19, 20, like 20, almost 25 years in the making, and finally beat the Bucs in the Super Bowl. So that'll do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed today's video, would love to hit and smash that 1,000 like goal. Let me know in the comment section below what team you want to see rebuilt next. And if it is very intriguing, if it gets the most likes, gets a lot of thumbs up, gets pushed up the old comments board, I will show that to you guys. So thank you guys very much for the support. If it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out. And yes, the Sim, we held him to 93 yards passing. A disgusting performance from the Vegas Raiders D. Let's go. Peace out.